There's nautical nasties on the horizon, and there's a south wind on the rise. In this week's episode of Hapless Heroes.
I am nowhere near a loose cannon, I assure you.
Hello and welcome to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave, and I will be, once again, your host and dungeon master for this evening. So we're going to start this evening. I don't know why I put the pause in there to throw you off or something like that, but it's the same way we start every other evening by introducing our cast. I'm going to start from my left. We have Phil as Hedrick the Entertainer.
I just want to get off this thing.
To his left, we have Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
I think it would make sense for me to captain a Southwind.
I'm just glad you didn't turn it into something else about getting off.
Good Lord.
What, look like a pervert?
Look, no.
Frank's like, yep.
To his left, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Time to destroy more undead.
And to his left, we have Francesco as Felix Fizzlebottom.
Let's dock and roll.
All right, so as we left off, our party was striding forth into action of some sort. I'm not sure what kind of action they're going to do. I don't think they're sure what kind of action they're going to do, but there is going to be action. It is going to be hapless.
A weapon of mass destruction. Okay, I'll stop with the boat puns.
No. I mean, don't. But
it's obvious I'm just ship for brains,
At least you don't have a little dinghy.
No.
They're getting worse. Progressively worse.
I know. I'm about to keel over.
Yeah, you've got to be kidding me.
All right, we're starting to get a little rudderless here. Let's get it back on course. Anyhow, so last time on Hapless Heroes, there were some revelations. There were green things.
Green things.
There was a stubborn captain and a bunch of heroes relegated to, if not backstage, at least below decks. To kind of cool their heels while the Admiral Mara decides he's going to go at Dutchman. Yeah, I thought I had a Flying Dutchman pun in there, but I don't know. It's a little odd.
Yeah, we're doing boat puns right now, Dave. Get with it.
Yes, that was a famous ghost ship.
Can you do more of them?
I know, mine was just a little under the radar.
No, that you didn't like that one? All right.
So the barest basic of recaps is that the Lighthouse of Legredex may be more than it seems. And then on the surface, there's more stuff in front of and around that, as it appears there is a small flotilla of ghost ships of some sort besieging this purported lighthouse. The party, feeling that they need to actually do action and not just sit in the bottom of the ship and wait for things to sort themselves out, because what the hell kind of podcast would that be if we did that?
No, it was about time for some action.
Oh, no.
So the party is heading up to the decks, and I'm not really sure what they're going to do, but that's fine, because I shouldn't know their plan. I'm just a DM over here. But the Lord Captain, now, he may have some different ideas. He's leading the crew onto the deck to try to figure out what's going on and what they can do to help, and whether or not they're going to actually inform anyone of what they're doing.
Is the Admiral in my vicinity?
Nowhere to be seen.
The Admiral's not.
Well, I mean, you just stepped onto the deck. The Admiral's got better places to be than the middle of the deck of a huge-ass ship.
Yeah, go to the spinning thing.
Sorry, yeah, like I would think that I'm heading toward the spinning thing.
Yeah, it's a big deck though. This ship is huge.
Right. Like
Okay.
I want to get to the helm.
Okay, so instead of heading towards the fore of the ship and the Griffins, you're headed back to the helm to try to talk some sense into the stubborn Admiral.
Well, we want to give our support basically.
Yeah,
we want
and we
them
wanna-
to know that we're here to help them.
Yeah, and we want to get to that after.
I've already used it.
I know, it's so great though.
It's pretty great. It is a different episode, and that's, I guess it's... Well, I hate to drop depth charges on that sort of idea, but let's get moving.
Beautiful.
So, we're heading toward the bridge. And I'm going to need a second because I honestly didn't think you guys were going that direction, so I have no preparation for it.
Where else would we go?
Yeah, like I'm trying to find the Admiral. That's my goal.
After this episode is, well, yeah. God, I was hoping you guys would just steal the Griffins or something. I'm a nihilist, though.
I mean,
No, we're gonna ask nicely once more for them, and then we'll
we'll
go
steal
from there.
them.
You're much more charitable than I would be, and that's why that's why I default to characters like Arion Black. Which isn't actually
Well,
none of
we
my
have a-
characters are like.
At this point, we have a reputation to uphold as well. Like we don't want to be stealing from people that we're trying to ally.
Who are supposed to be our allies.
Right.
Good. I am actually glad that you're making good decisions with this moral dilemma here. So yes, you guys are headed toward the con and the area where the spinny wheel thingy, scientific name, is. And in fact, when you walk into the deck, into the con, there are some low-level sailors, no, maybe not just sailors, but like ensigns or something at the deck, trying to keep you from getting into there, if for no other reason than that they don't want you to hear the Admiral loudly and happily exclaiming, "Spinny wheel thingy!" as he is spinning the wheel like a stereotypical pirate captain, just spinning that thing to one side and the other, doing big daring feats of shipmanship that don't actually always correspond to where the ship is going. Then again, it's a huge ship. It steers slow. Spinning the rudder like that isn't going to do anything particularly fast. But he's really excited about it. He's getting into it. Commander O'Reilly stalking forward, her left hand on the scabbard, her right hand on the hilt of her cavalry sword at her side. And don't ask me why she has a cavalry sword, but that's what I had in my head at the beginning of all this. And that's the kind of person she is. She's a naval officer, but that's just how she rolls. Striding toward you with murder in her eyes. What are you doing here?
Well, we're here to help, obviously.
What are you here to help with?
We are the heroes of Talduria. We're here to be heroes.
What kind of heroine are you here to be helping with? Answer me!
Well, there are ghost ships on the horizon. I think we can help with that.
Her sword comes out flying out of the scabbard and it is its point is at your throat in seconds. How do you know about that?
I mean, we have eyes.
You were also locked in your cabin.
No, that door was unlocked.
I know it's kind of come into a Scottish accent, but once again, my limitations here. I apparently can't do an Irish accent. I tried.
No, they are notoriously difficult, though.
They really are.
I'm willing to forgive and forget the apparent locking in of me and my crew. However, I am in a situation where we can be of service to you and help you with this dilemma.
Still haven't answered my question.
Okay.
We picked a lock.
Okay, so Quentin, let's steer this back onto the point of why we're here. Okay? There are undead on the horizon. We are professionals at destroying the undead. We are also allies. You're pointing your sword at the brother to Tessa Southwind.
You don't really know what the name Southwind means, do you?
I mean, I personally don't, but I'm sure Quinn does. He talks about it all the time.
All the time.
They share a name, but I don't think this means what you think it means.
Well, at this point, it means that I am related to the person that you are working for. So I think you should get your point out of my face.
We are allies, after all. I mean, I thought this was just the way you said hello, but I mean, your tone is suggesting otherwise.
He's not intentionally silent right now. Dave, the DM, is trying to come up with dialogue furiously.
That's fair.
Could I take a moment to inspire Quinn?
Hmm?
Because
I'm more important than she thought I was.
As he's talking, you start just starting to pluck the strings a little bit, like, ooh, I feel a song coming on. Maybe maybe this will sort of intro my boy,
You should know, though, it's not some family where everyone shares some sort of heritage and history. You don't have none of that with our Lady Southwind. You're just some Johnny-come-lately with the title trying to steal the glory.
Respect. Is it Commander?
Are you saying that
Commander
to
O'Reilly?
me or about Tessa?
Well, yeah, she's saying that to you. Like, Tessa's the true Southwind. You're just, you're someone with the name who just rolled up out of nowhere. You're a hero of Talduria. Remember, she's been serving Lady Southwind for her entire career. Whereas you just busted onto the scene like 6 months ago. On a totally parallel.
But I also busted onto the scene because Tessa invited me to the scene.
You busted onto the scene a little before Tessa invited you to the scene, to be fair. The bottle stuff happened before the concert. The concert happened before the big thing.
That being said, does Quinn still have the letter that Tessa sent him? Because Quinn is, unlike Hoblet, is one to keep letters.
Yeah, that's a Ron Swanson I can do what I want letter, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that I keep it in a very important corner of my cloak. And I pull it out, and I just unroll it, and I just said, "You are able to read, correct?"
The takeaway from that is that we're all on the same side.
Okay, so right after that, not even veiled at all insult of can read, she screams in some sort of unintelligible bog people, "Rah!" and winds back with her sword for her wrist to be caught by the Admiral, who has walked down quietly just off camera.
Because I am a beautiful person that he wants to keep around.
I don't like it either. But Rash knows Rash, and this man is a rash, loose cannon. We should absolutely allow the loose cannons to fire because that's how we got here, darn it.
Have you friend Hoblet?
They have not.
They have not heard of Hoblet.
Sure, but I am nowhere near a loose cannon. I assure you.
No, but you're the loose cannon we need, Quinn.
I may be the loosest cannon of the four.
Oh, Lord.
We'll explore that later now, won't we?
Oh, and we're back to the flirting.
I mean, were we ever really gone? Here's what we're going to do. Commander O'Reilly, and he looks at her very sharply, is going to return to her quarters for 15 minutes to cool her heels. I am going to go up to the con and operate the spinny wheel thing. And I'm not going to ask any questions about where you've gone or what you've done. We are under orders, after all.
Okay.
We are simply here to help.
Understood. Nope, it's great.
I understand. In this way, I don't have to run afoul of our ladies' regulations, and you get to do your heroing, and I get to spin spinny wheel thing.
Oh my God. Quinn, I have a plan. Let's do this. Thank you, Admiral. So sorry again, Commander. Really, I really hope that at some point you can understand that we are on the same side, and we genuinely just want to be friends. Let's go. Let's go, fellas. Let's huddle up.
I don't see what we're apologizing for, but okay.
I'm trying to flatter.
Oh, he already knows I flatter him.
Oh.
I flatter him in much unique ways.
I'm more talking about the person who's more likely to point a sword in my face.
Great, and I'm.
Okay, never mind.
So
Yeah, I was
good.
gonna say never mind. Hold on, I just never mind, because I realized the entendre there. So, anyways, I'm gonna motion to my peeps to huddle up. All right, guys. So, Hedrick, remember earlier we were asking, and I looked just to make sure that the Admiral is no longer in earshot.
Admiral is no longer in earshot, or at least you don't think he is. He's busy lining up.
Commander. Sorry, Commander.
Commander has stalked off somewhere behind deck, back toward those command quarters.
Okay, because that's who I was more worried about. Okay, so Hedrick, do you remember when we were asking the commander if we could just borrow the Griffins, get up to our airship, and just get out of everybody's way? I think that we pretty much just got free license to do that. No questions asked. What do you say we go back to our own ship, guys, and deal with this problem the way that we deal with these problems? Without anyone
How are we
else
going to
telling
get
us
there?
what to do that. The Griffins will fly us up to the airship. Like, what part about the Griffins and the airship isn't adding up for you?
But they're not going to let us take the Griffins.
Okay, I'm not sure if you interpreted the Admiral's words the same way that I did, but he said pretty much that he's not going to keep track of where we are. We're just going to be able to kind of do whatever we want for the next 35 minutes. It's only going to take us much less time than that to just fly the Griffins up and tell them, okay, go back to where you're roosting.
So they already hate us,
No,
and now
okay.
we're going to steal their Griffin.
Okay, so
Not stealing.
I love it. I love the plan.
And it's also not stealing. We are borrowing and then sending back. It is just we are just almost using a transportation mechanism to get from point A to point airship. And then that's it. And then we just send the Griffins back.
She has no idea what she started. Let's do it.
I'm so glad that you agree with me and my plan, Quinn. And I'm going to look at him and just blink a few times.
Let's get a little vengeance. Let's do it.
Okay, I mean, I didn't say the word vengeance, but whatever. It seems like you're on board, so let's just go. So is there any actual visible way to climb up into the roosts in a safe manner?
the roosts are up by the fore of the ship. There's easy ways to get there. They want to make it so that anyone using the Griffins can get to the Griffins.
Of course. Let's just walk over there, and hopefully it's just easy peasy on the airship.
Yeah. So exiting back to the deck, you have noticed that you have gotten significantly closer to the lighthouse of Legradex. And the naval battle is about in the offing, as it looks like, Quinn, you would notice that you're not far outside a cannon range of these other ships. Like, it's about to kick off here. Accordingly, most of the crew on the deck is fucking busy, doing all the jibs and masting and sail bullshit that sailors need to do on a ship with sails. I was Air Force, so I don't know these things.
I also feel, could Hedrick, are you able to do like something to kind of block what we're doing, or?
I was just gonna look that up.
What do you mean by block what we're doing? Like
some sort of doesn't he? I'm blanking on the name of the. I know what I'm thinking about. It's really you make a distraction.
I mean, I feel like the distraction's already happening, right?
The out of character
battle.
DM hint here is you were given permission. Stop overthinking it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need to do anything more to affect the situation we are in. Like we got the ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. See, and then this is sort of a military perspective. Is he can't just give you permission to do it. He does not have that sort of authority, even as the admiral. The best he can do for you is I'm giving you 15 minutes of me turning my head and looking the other way, because that's all he can do under the guidelines he has. But he's made it very clear that he is turning his head and definitively looking in a different direction for a while.
And there are 4 griffins, right? If I remember
Yes,
correctly.
there are 4 griffins.
Now that being said, I'm gonna actually look at the group here and be like, so actually among us, which one of you has actually flown one of these things before?
Joe looks very.
Well, I mean, I've run a ship. I'm sure it's no different.
How many of you took griffins to get from the home of the giants to that dragon cave?
So, if I recall correctly, because I was DMing at the time, Jarrell rolled very poorly on his animal handling, right?
I was the one that did good. I picked up.
Oh, it's Hoblet. Yeah, that's right. Hoblet and Mort were the ones who had a rough time flying. So yeah, Jarrell knows how to fly one of these things for sure. I'm not sure how Quinn did. I can't remember. I think he was fine. I think it was really just Mort and Hoblet that were having a rough time.
And Paradil had to ride on mine.
Oh yes, that's right.
And if I was unconscious, that's probably the only time I've ever been on a griffin.
Edric, you did a sojourn in the realm of those giants. You're familiar enough with the griffins.
Oh, cool.
All right. Because Felix has never flown one before and does not feel comfortable learning how to fly one now.
Well, hey, what do y'all feel okay about leaving that frickin' feather?
Oh yeah, we should probably go get him, right?
That frickin'?
I mean, we brought him with us. Like, we shouldn't just leave him here with
That admiral.
Yeah, a crew that probably just merely tolerates our presence.
All right.
You know what? I'll send Slim down, and I'm gonna mentally control Slim and send her below decks.
All right, so she has been sent below decks.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if Frickin's still chilling in the VIP area.
Yes, he is. He is actually chilling, sprawled out in one of the large chairs down there.
Nice. I'm going to. Oh yeah, I should probably pop back to my senses and be like, "Hey Quinn, you can end the invisibility on Slim. Like we're good. We're cool now."
Done.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna just quickly speak through Slim's. You know, I can project my voice through her face, and I'm just gonna, look at Freck and be like, "Hey, so some stuff's about to go down, and if you're looking for a good fight, we could use you up top. Just hop on a Griffin. You can come back to our airship, and we can fill you in, and make a plan of action if you wanted to, smash some skulls."
Well, I do reckon I like the skull smashing. I think we can make that happen. And he saunters over. There's no particular hurry in his movements, but he's a big dude, so he's got a large stride. Grabs his gigantic axe from the wall and turns to you. All right, where are we heading?
Just follow the little dragon upstairs.
Follow the little dragon.
The thing I'm talking out of.
My life used to be so much easier.
Yeah, but easy's not fun, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just sighing that as he heads on out the door.
And yeah, she leads him up.
Yep. So Frecken gets onto the deck, and I assume the rest of you are sort of at the top of the stairs there waiting for him.
Hedrick has his loot out, and he keeps glancing up to the griffins and just feeling like everybody could use a little bit of a boost.
Oh,
because getting locked into a room and having to sneak around and then getting to skedaddle, but still, these things might be a little bit ornery. He wants to inspire the entire group, including Frecken. And he starts with some very heavy chords strumming at a pace. Zero at the helm. Jedim is an angry guy. Heroes of the realm. Vecna wants the world to die. And he starts stomping his feet. Boom, 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 boom. We're gonna fly into the danger zone. Boom, bum, bum, bum. Gonna skyway to the danger zone. He's just like slides on the knees on the deck, right in front of like Frecken as he's getting to the top of the stairs.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I am really inspired by that.
I guess I'm inspired by that.
I'll flip my goggles down just because I don't have aviators.
All right. So the fastest way to get to the Griffin Roost at the front of the ship would actually be to go through the galley that's also at the front. It's in another sort of raised set of decks at the front of the ship. So if you want to head that way, go through the galley and then take the stairs toward the back to the floors above. Top deck of that is where the Griffins are.
Cool. And I'm gonna look at Frecken and be like, Frecken, I reckon you probably haven't flown one of these before.
I reckon.
I ain't done a lot of stuff before a couple of days ago. We'll make it up as we go, right? Figure I either need to go with the flow here or I'm going to get left behind.
Well, we would never leave you behind, Frecken.
Forms.
Or you, Dilbatrum.
And the camera pans to him again.
He's making no noise, but his face is apoplectic with rage. Eye twitching. His entire tone just going a little more red, but he continues to say nothing while he scribbles furiously in his notebook.
I mean, he does.
Don't fear the Griffins.
Well, I think Quinn is still convinced he's writing your biography. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
Which isn't entirely untrue, but is in fact still mostly untrue.
it's only partially the truth.
Now, Frecken, no need to pay attention to that guy. You're a big fella. I'm sure you're gonna do fine. Felix, how are you feeling? Are you sure?
I'm small enough that I'm just going to ride on one of those with you guys, because
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right.
going to control one of these giant things that could probably swallow me whole.
That makes sense. That's all right.
I'll hop on with Jarrell. He seems to know what he's doing. He looks confident.
That's
All
probably
right.
for the best.
So Jarrell will be piloting one. Quinn will be piloting one. Hedrick is piloting one, and Frecken is piloting another one. I almost said Groggle, and now that I look at it, if you write the two words near each other, they're almost they're very similar. It's just like letter substitutions. Consonant R, consonant R, vowel, double consonant, and then two letters after that.
Oh,
So
you
that's
wrote
why
it that way.
Yeah, that's why it's like that in my head, because they're such parallel words.
Sure.
And it wasn't intentional at all. But anyway. So the six of you, if you count the person who aren't there, are heading off toward the galley, I suppose. And as you get to the front into the galley, it looks like there was a whole to-do that was interrupted by events that developed rather quickly. Looks like there is a partially cut cake on one of the tables, a lot of drinks all over the place, even some streamers hanging from the ceiling, made hastily out of the sort of things they would have aboard a ship. So a couple of frayed ropes as garland, and a sign on one of the walls saying, "Happy Birthday, Car Son."
Oh man, this Carson guy must have been pretty nice.
I think I would think so. It looks like he was very popular aboard the ship.
Jarrell grabs 2 cupcakes.
Jarrell has 2 cupcakes in his inventory.
Nice.
You gluttonous
you know what?
fool.
We have a few minutes, right, before we have to fly away. I'll grab a cupcake, too.
Man, that's going straight to your hips.
It's okay, my hips can take it.
So there's a little interval while everyone kind of snacks on some cupcakes and celebrates the birthday of our friend Carson. And now we can get on with our regularly scheduled adventure. The party surmounting the deck atop this assemblage, battlement, whatever thing it is at the front of the ship. And I still don't know ship terms, so deal with it, my listening audience. And we have gotten to where the griffins are, and there are the 4 of them. There are a couple of griffin handlers, looking wide-eyed and panicked and trying to keep the griffins somewhat calm as they feed them whatever griffins get fed.
As Hedrick approaches his, he tries to just pick one that looks steady, and his first thing is to come across as non-threatening. So at the front of the ship, he bows.
You bow in front of a griffin named Eunice.
And I look at the trainer and just say, are they often, used to new riders, or they mainly have the same one?
We've got pilots in a training program, but it's sort of a new thing still. I mean, we've only had these griffins for a little while.
Jarrell walks up, picks Felix up and puts him on one of the griffins, is still eating a cupcake with the other hand, feeds the griffin the second cupcake, and then hops on the griffin and proceeds to take off.
Okay, so you approach a griffin named Bertram and feed him the cupcake, and you and Felix are on that one.
Uh-huh.
Bertram? Oh, I like Bertram. Also, thank you for offering it a cupcake so it does not want to eat me.
Right. And cupcakes are delicious.
Are you really nervous that it's going to eat you?
I mean, listen, its beak is like the size of my head. So, yes.
Right. So who will be the next to approach a griffin?
Quinn steps right up to the 3rd griffin, kind of gives it like a little bit of a stroke on the side of its head.
This griffin, named Giorgio, looks at you with patient griffin eyes.
Patient ones. Giorgio. Of course he'd be Italian.
And let's see. So which one? Let's see. Hedrick, just before you take off, you barely notice Dilbertram climb on behind you.
Ah.
Frecken gets aboard a griffin that just has the name X on the stall near it. And X has crazy eyes.
Oh, great.
It's probably the sweetest one of the bunch. Don't let it fool you.
Well,
It's like the Raphael.
it's either going to be a real nice and easy griffin to ride, or it's going to be a bit of a wild Mustang of griffins. Oh well, either way, it beats being on a ship. Let's get out of here.
Could I try to, I suppose I need both hands to play, right? Or, to play my lute. I need both hands to fly the griffin as well.
No, if you got
probably do some
I will
like-
rule of cool it with you just hanging on with your legs and putting the bridle straps or whatever they're called under an arm or something like that, or tying it to the saddle for a second while you blast out some tunes in midair, because we need tunes blasted out in midair. That just seems really damn cool.
And he's going full on, just lounge, going back to, come fly with me, come fly, we'll fly away. And hopefully trying to serenade this motion as we're all leaving the decks.
Yes, and in what is almost a beautifully artistic juxtaposition with your beautiful lounge music, the battle kicks off as cannons get within range of each other, and the south wind just unleashes hell out of the entire right side of its ship. 75 cannons barking to life at once and absolutely tearing apart the air in front of it with gigantic steel death fired at these ghost ships, trying to break the siege of the lighthouse of Legradex. A mad cackling can be heard from the con at the back of the ship as Admiral Josephaxo Mara is in his full glory right now, barking orders and just being the dashing naval captain that I've set him up to be this entire time. The four of you on your griffins fly over the top of all of this carnage. You can see very clearly the pillar of swirling green light going
Green
up.
light.
Swirling green light.
Yes. You can still see the top of the lighthouse through it, and what looks to be an area to land up there as you sort of swing over towards, up in a lazy spiral up towards where the airship is hovering. Oh, geez. I want to say at least 1,000, 1,500 feet above all of this. I mean, a good safe distance where they're not getting shot with cannons from below.
Damn.
And with this scene unfolding below, the six of you on your griffins land upon the ship. Right on the deck there.
On the airship. On the
Yes,
11 o'clock
yeah.
shadow.
The 11 o'clock shadow. The one and only, and still the only airship in the world.
Jarrell hops off his griffin, assists Felix in getting off.
Yes, thank you.
Pats the griffin on the head and points back to the ship, assuming it will take off.
Eunice looks at you, grateful for your gift of cupcake, nods, flaps her wings a few times, and launches off the deck, flying back down towards the south wind.
Cool.
So, everybody else?
Thank you, darling. Appreciate the lift.
All right. So, or actually, no, it was Bertram that Jarrell and Felix said goodbye to. You would have been saying goodbye to Eunice as you and Dilbertram get off, and she is also quite thankful for your courtesy and gentle handling. Acknowledges you and flies off.
I demount Giorgio, and I just give him a little fluff of his feathers.
Giorgio seems to enjoy it. He's a bit of an excitable but well-natured sort, and he flaps his wings strongly, crows in the sort of way that a griffin would, caw, because that's what they do now, and flies off.
From the roost of the 11 o'clock shadow, you're...
Oh yeah, that's going on.
Oh, God.
Frecken had a bit of a different experience. Although you do see what looks like him having a little bit of difficulty with the Griffin. Him and X reach a bit of an understanding and start zipping around. By the way, as I rolled Frecken, he got a natural 20 on his animal handling check.
Oh, dang.
Frecken and X have got on like a house on fire. So much so that X doesn't seem to want to leave the deck of the 11 o'clock shadow.
Oh, shit. We did say we were going to return them.
Well,
I mean, they're getting 3 back at least.
X looks, X and Frecken look deeply into each other's eyes for a second. And Frecken says, "Don't worry, friend. We'll be back together soon. Now you get on back there. I'll come get you." Get! Whacks him on the hindquarters. And X rears up and makes his own, much stronger. And does a couple of laps around the ship before streaking like a rocket back down toward the southwind.
Damn, Frecken.
See, I told you you'd be fine. That thing looked scary as hell. And you just like got on. That man, a good job.
Oh, I didn't even know. I guess I thought I was doing all right. Me and X have a bit of an understanding.
Well, Welcome to the 11 o'clock shadow.
Oh, yeah. So you know how I said my life was got a little weirder in the last couple of days? It's got even down weirder in the last couple of hours. So how about you kind of show me to something normal around here? Like,
I'll take you to the kitchen.
I was going to say somewhere to get drinks, but I feel like the kitchen's just as good.
Well, yeah, and attached to that kitchen is the dining room.
I like how you're thinking.
As he's walking down below the deck, a giant Dr. Dedu, well, not giant, but fairly large goose, lands in front of him and waddles into the underdeck before he can.
Oh, son of a bitch! What the hell's that?
You have a lot to learn, buddy. Don't worry.
Oh,
You'll be introduced to everybody in time.
Wait till you meet the chef.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, but enough time for that. There is a battle raging below us, so we'll figure something out.
Sounds good. So everyone has reconvened, and I don't want to have too many characters going at once. So I feel like this is sort of a good place to end it here, because we can always party select back out of it next time.
Sure can.
All right, so good. That's sort of where I want to bring this episode to a close, with you guys having returned to the 11 o'clock shadow. The entire party is together in the air, and there is some stuff in the kickin' offens going on down here. But we're going to investigate that next time we meet. So if you do like us, though, you can find us on the internet. We can be found at such places as Twitter and Instagram at Hapless Heroes. We're on Reddit /r/Hapless Heroes Podcast, and we can also be found on Facebook if you search for Hapless Heroes Podcast. All of those places will take you to the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server, the place to meet, greet, and hang out with all of us on what is essentially a daily basis from the comfort of your own home in such times, but also because, there's a very good chance you're probably not in the same city we are, and it's much easier to do it this way because road trips are expensive and long. Now, if you like us, though, you could leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. I trust that you have found a podcast service of your choice at this point. Otherwise, how on earth are you 150-some episodes into this thing? When you do get there, on whichever podcast service it is, if you leave us a 5-star review, or if you leave us any star review, we'll read it, we will convey it on this episode, and we can review your review and you as a 5-star person for reviewing our podcast. Now, if you really, really like us, though, you could donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/Hapless Heroes. And we have a variety of different reward levels, some smaller, some bigger. The bigger ones obviously have things like contributing story arcs or things like that. But even the lower ones, you could get access to our patron lounge, and that's a fun little additional area of our Discord server where you get, the patron lounge level access to us, but also to our bloopers, which are great to listen to, and access to such events as like our Jackbox night that we hosted for what will you be, I don't know, probably a month ago or so now at this point. We're a few episodes ahead, but it was 2 days ago, and it was a good time for everybody involved. One of the most fun I've had as part of this podcast. And let me tell you, that is something, because we have pretty much nonstop fun. We've been doing it for, if it were 155 numbered episodes plus whatever else, we got to be at like 100 sessions now or something like that. Something like absolutely outlandish number. And every one of those has been special, but that Jackbox time was special to me as well. And we would love to have you, our audience, our potential future Patreon donor, to be with us next time. So stay tuned for those details. Donate to our Patreon if you're so inclined. It does help us with our hosting costs, equipment costs, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and as a special shout out this week, one of our longtime patrons, Carson, his wife reached out to us recently. Now, as of the airing of this episode, our boy Carson, his birthday was 4 days ago. So now that the surprise is revealed, surprise Carson, your wife reached out to us to say happy birthday to you, and she made a donation in your name to our podcast, which, by the way, wow, just you guys are just both such amazing people, and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. We are so happy and lucky to have y'all as part of the Hapless Heroes family, and you are lucky to have each other, because that's just, wow, how sweet. Just talked about how much you love the show, and you know what? We love you. So thank you, Carson and Katana. You guys are amazing.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carson.
Happy birthday, Carson.
Yep. Out of game, just like we said in game. Happy birthday! I hope it's the absolute best. Many happy returns for you and yours.
Right, and thank you again for your donation. You are too kind. We will put it to good use. Now, if you like us, love us, really like us, Sally Field and the whole deal, get really good at casting metal and make a waffle iron in the shape of the logo of our podcast, and make waffles for all of the people. Maybe even start a waffle food truck and promote our podcast through your amazing waffle iron art.
Do we get free waffles?
Of course.
And we obviously have to give free waffles because it's using our likeness.
Yes.
Obviously.
Would
The
you
whole
then?
point of this really is for us to get free waffles and for you to make a killer business, obviously, having a waffle food truck. I mean, come
Would
on.
you also name the food truck iHot?
Well, that's...
International Heroes of Tal'Duria?
Now
No.
we have to. We obviously own the rights to all of this.
You
Yeah, we
Hot
obviously
cakes.
own. Right, we obviously own the rights to all of the things that we're saying here. So any of these ideas, we're obviously going to be taking a royalty cut from as well. You know what? Just make us a bunch of money with your food truck and let
You
us
can
eat
pay-
for free.
You can pay me in waffles.
Or, yeah, just make us the waffles.
I like
I
how
will accept hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of waffles.
No, I would like for you to get rich and for me to leech off of your success. That's what I want to do.
if you really, really, really like
If you really, really like it.
Yeah, if you really, really like us, accept the fact that we've already put a lot of effort into something, and go put in some effort on our behalf that we can leech off of to actually get successful. As it turns out, unless you're Matt Mercer, you aren't getting rich and famous off of D&D podcasts.
sweet syrup.
But you might get some waffles.
Yeah. Also, he didn't get rich and famous off of D&D podcasts either. I guess he just got richer and famous for. He was already there. Anyway, before we go shitting up your airwaves and your ears and on any of your computer equipment that you are listening onto this even more, we're just going to kind of gracefully bow out of here to let you get on with your day. And to do that, I'm going to outro my cast in the opposite direction of the way I started. And we'll go to my right because we started from my left last time. So to outro, we have the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom, played by Francesco.
We had a plan and it worked.
It did. Now to his right we have to his right we have Lord Jarrell the Light, played by John.
I got to ride a griffin again, and I'm going to kill some undead. This has been a great day.
To his right we have Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind, played by Mike.
I tickled his feathers and he liked it.
And to his right we have Hedrick the Entertainer, played by Phil.
Maybe seafaring crazy ladies aren't my thing.
My name is Dave. I have been your host and dungeon master for this evening. We're just gonna sail away now. Bye-bye.
Hey, see
Come
you.
sail away. Come sail away.
You guys.
Oh boy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.